Yes, thanks for staying with us on the Sports Show. Time to turn our attention to the Southern Footy League as always. The Apprentice Craig Warman joins us. Finally, last round, last week, the 8 is finally set.
Thank God for that. Thank God for that. It's been one of those seasons, Phil. Up and down all over the place. Like we had Noarlunga and Brighton played off last week. They get another gig this week. Port Noarlunga played Christie's last week. They get to play each other again this week. Ranella, who played Flagstaff Hill, if they'd won, they would have finished 4th. It's double chance. Didn't, lost. Go to 6th, elimination final. It's all over the shop.
It's been a great year, though.
It's been terrific.
It's been a great year. No, it has.
And it finally rained, didn't it?
And believe it or not, Poppy, it rained. For the last minor round of the season.
10 weeks you've been trying to get rain on them, finally.
It rained.
I know you guys are taking the P155 out of me, but let me tell you right now, it's going to be a wet final series for you guys.
Oh, please.
No, the rain came down. Eventually.
Actually bucketed down.
As usual, I'm 2 months ahead of everyone else. I predicted that, didn't I?
You did, mate.
All beating May.
Can we talk about the weekend, because this is going to be finals weekend. Now, the setup for you guys, there's the top 8, same as the AFL.
Same as the AFL.
So Saturday, 2 qualifying finals.
Yep.
Flagstaff Hill are in 4th spot. They come up against Morphett Vale, who finished 1st.
Minor premiers.
What are you seeing?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, Flagstaff Hill, on a bit of a slump, had a really good win over Ranella last week. So Morphett Vale haven't done anything wrong, but look, Phil, it's any one of the top 6 could win it. You'd lean to Morphett Vale being the minor premiers. Yeah. So that's been played down at Old Noarlunga, and of course the Tribe van will be down there for that one.
How are they, from a personnel perspective, clubs going into the finals limping, or are some sides, ready to go?
There's a couple in the bottom half of the 8 that are struggling a little bit with injury, but your top 6, most of them are pretty right.
Okay, cool.
All right, 2nd Noarlunga, 3rd were Brighton. Now, they played last week.
Yes.
Was there some ducks and drakes in that, or did we see everything you reckon we're going to see this weekend?
This is finals footy. You know what it's like.
Yep.
You know you're going to play them 2 weeks in a row. There's always going to be, I got a slight one, I might rest him.
Well, let me ask Smythe. Smythe, from a coaching perspective, what do you do? Last round of the year, unless you're playing for position, what do you do as a coach?
You're trying to play for some form. You don't want to mess around with form.
Not too much.
But you're not going flat chat.
No.
Everyone's going to play.
How much is it about getting what you've got right, and how much is it understanding what they've got in preparation for?
Both. You don't care whether you win or lose.
No.
So
Okay.
you're searching to just make sure you've got everything in place for the next game.
Fair
enough. Which I imagine was pretty much by the
start. Yeah, very much so. Yep.
Now, Sunday, of course, the elimination final starts. Christie's Beach, Ranella 6th, Morphett Vale Park in 7th.
Yeah. Ranella and Morphy Parks. Morphy Parks are the one I was alluding to with the injuries. Had a couple of really big injuries. So you'd tip Ranella. Poor old Billy's on a bit of a knife edge, the old beloved Ranella.
Billy will be fine.
So, yeah, but the experience tells me that Ranella, grand finalists in 3 of the last 4, they'll be there or thereabouts.
Sometimes that weight of expectation can get you, though.
It can, but
it does help to have the experience going the other way.
Very much so.
All right, at Port Noarlunga, of course, Port Noarlunga, who finished 5th, Christie's Beach in 8th. What's your feeling?
Mate, this is going to be a really good game. Again, another battle of the sock.
Well, sorry, they played last week too.
They played last week too.
So Port Noarlunga got that one.
Couple of goals, not much in it. A few players you would think would come back into each side this week. So I'm suggesting, look, given a dry day, you could see Christie's get up over Porties.
I could ask you a question. In this final series, no, too late, I'm started. Does the top team play at home during the final series, or are they neutral grounds as you go through to the grand final?
We try and neutralise the grounds as best we can. As you would see that Noarlunga and Brighton are playing at Marion.
See, this is my point. I'm a big one, and I think the SNFL should consider it as well. You know, in the AFL, you actually get a home final as a result of the good work in the home and away series. Now, come grand final day, the fact is it's a neutral ground, neutral to most, but you know, I like the idea of playing at a home ground. I think it probably sits better at SNFL level, in fairness. But the fact is it's just more welcoming for that team and that local community to actually support that team and their big occasion. I get the neutral ground, but...
Yeah, but it depends, Poppy, at our level, whether the grounds are good enough to play on. We like to
Well,
pick...
but if they're good enough to play during the course of the year...
Yeah, but when you come...
The rain came and ruined them last week. So there wasn't
I told
any
you about that rain.
ridiculous.
Flagstaff Hill,
Yeah.
you wouldn't... All right, it's a good ground to play on,
Yeah.
and of course it's home ground advantage,
Yeah.
but you would allow them to play there when you've got grounds that are in better condition.
Okay, fair enough.
To us, it's a bit of a safety issue as well, going forward. Players want to play on the best decks.
Sure. No, you're the boss. I just float it because I just wonder about it. You know, when you
So
talk
you're trying to reward the team that finishes higher
well,
on the ladder.
yeah, of
with
course.
the
I mean,
home
if you've got a home ground advantage, and you've earned that home ground advantage. So, I mean, first playing fourth, for instance, there is no advantage finishing first to fourth.
If you're playing on neutral ground.
If you're playing on neutral ground, you may as well finish fourth to first.
Yeah. Well, it's a fair point.
But I think the same at
There's
SFL
arguments
level.
for- there's arguments for both.
In the AFL, obviously all the grounds are great grounds, okay? But the fact is, that is your advantage to utilise. You know, we get Adelaide winning, they get 2 home finals, hopefully, if they make the most of it.
Mate, they always say you're an injury away from missing
Yeah.
the grand final.
Yes.
Right now, if things stayed status quo, who do you think?
Put yourself
playing-
out there.
Who would play in the grand final?
Don't sit on the
right now?
fence. Come on.
Well, I tell you, on current form, you would probably put Morphettvale and Norlunga.
Wow, really?
Things
Okay.
are just playing right. at the
Because
right time.
over the last 4 weeks, leading into the finals,
Yeah.
most of those top sides have played each other.
Yeah.
Morphettvale haven't lost,
Yes.
Okay.
and Norlunga haven't lost either.
Okay, so they're the two.
So the two form sides
Yeah.
would dictate that if all went
according to
according to plan.
It's an interesting
no
thing, isn't
injuries,
it?
Nothing else. Form stays the same.
Form
Quickly-
stays the same.
Quickly, because we have to go. I want to ask you about the women's league. You finished up your 5-week
Yeah.
program.
Yeah,
How's
look,
that gone?
mate, that absolute gangbusters. Terrific for us. As a result of our 5-week program that we've just completed last Sunday, we're up and about. By the looks of it, we look like having 8 under 14 teams
Wow.
and 8 under 16 teams.
What?
There's also talk.
Where are they all coming from? I thought that no one would be interested. I've got to say, I'll put my hand up. I thought no one would be interested.
Mate, Great Southern Football League aren't all that keen on it. So we've got a couple of clubs from down
Okay, fair
there
enough.
that are drifting into our competition as well. But there's also talk around the place that if we can get enough, there's also possibility of under 18s and even an open women's competition.
Wow.
So out of little acorns, big oak trees grow.
Well, they need somewhere to go.
They
so-
do, and again, it's just been really, really good for us to run that pilot program,
Yeah,
see
okay.
what, put the foot in the water, so to speak, and out of it, we've got some pretty good numbers.
You know you only have to put the toe in the water too, don't you? You don't have to put your whole foot in all the time.
Mate, you know me, I'm all in or nothing. All in or nothing.
Craig, as always, great to catch up with you. It's going to be a big weekend in the Southern Footy League. Get down there and support your team. Stay with us. Still plenty to come on the show.